at lines. The first anniversary of Emoinu Private Limited was held on July 29 last on virtual network due to COVID pandemic. Assam-Mizoram border clash leaves 5 deaths. A team of history enthusiasts visited the site of the last Sepoy Mutiny at Binakandi Part 2 on July 24 last. All Assam Students' Union has condoled the demise of noted academician of Guwahati University, Dr. Neeru Hazarika. Results of COVID hit HSLC and HS exams declared in Assam. Jammu and Kashmir to be granted statehood after normalcy is restored. Tokyo records on July 27 highest single-day spike of COVID-19 cases since pandemic began. And boxer Lavlina Borgohain reaches semis at Tokyo Olympics. Mary Kom goes down to end her bout. Hello everyone, you are watching Emoinu Live. This is Anjali Wahingbam giving you the bulletin of the week. Before giving you the news in details, Emoinu Live makes an appeal to all the viewers to observe carefully the SOPs given by the administration to contain the spread of COVID-19 pandemic. Let masks be used at all social gatherings. Let social distancing of 6 feet be maintained between 2 persons. Let hands be washed and sanitized frequently. Let all persons above the age of 18 be vaccinated. Now the news in details. The first anniversary of the Emoinu Private Limited was virtually held on Thursday, the 29th July last due to COVID pandemic. The Zoom meet was presided over by its Managing Director, Longjam Babatsana Singh, while a social scientist as well as advisor of the company, Dr. Dhanavir Laishram, graced the occasion as chief guest. The Chief Operating Officer of the Private Limited, NG Binoy Singh, also attended the function as guest of honor. It may be noted that in the midst of the pandemic period, the company could manage to enroll around 3,000 members with a turnover of Rs 67 lakh during the last 4 months and started marketing new product items. The chief guest, Dr. Dhanavir Laishram, in his speech has regarded the company as one of the leading organizations which will bring economic revolution in the coming generation of the entire region. The Managing Director, L. Babasana Singh, has also emphasized the need for working together by the like-minded personalities so that the dreams of socio-economic transformation can come through by utilizing the available productive resources in our society. The Managing Director also sought blessings of the people to the smooth running of the company in the years to come. Gunfire and grenades exploded along a stretch of dense forest of Assam-Mizoram border areas in a standoff involving hundreds of police and civilians over a long disputed state border crossing. The incident took place on Monday, the 26th July 2021 in the village of Vairangte in the district of Kolasif, Mizoram. In the melee, at least 5 police officers from the state of Assam were killed and many more officers and civilians were injured. Quickly, officials of Assam and Mizoram blamed each other for the bloodshed. This was the first flare-up over the disputed territory involving casualties in decades. The clash occurred 2 days after Amit Shah, India's powerful Home Minister, held a meeting with the state leaders to resolve border dispute there and some elsewhere in India's northeast. Leaders of the Congress party blamed the government for its failure to negotiate a peaceful solution as evidence of its ineffectiveness. Observers outside the political fray said 2 state police forces shooting at one another raised serious issues. Bhagat Oinam, a professor at Jawaharlal Nehru University, New Delhi, said, "This should have been sorted out much before by the Home Ministry, but somehow it has not happened and this is the repercussion." A team of history enthusiasts from Hailakandi, Silchar and Karimganj visited the site of the last phase of the Sepoy Mutiny 1857-58 that took place on January 12, 1858 at Binakandi Part 2 in the Lakhipur subdivision of Kasar district. The team consisted of Professor Abid Raza Mazumdar, Sanjeev Dev Laskar, Dilip Nath, Milanuddin Laskar, Dr. Y. Ras Bihari Singh, Dr. Subhajit Chakrabarti, Dr. Rabindra Roy, Silpajit Paul, etc. They visited a spot where the last skirmish between a handful of mutineers and a garrison of the British Army took place. in which the martyrs laid down their lives with least hesitation. They paid homage to the departed souls of the martyrs and called the spot a place of pilgrimage. Then they held a meeting with the members of the Sepoy Mutiny Memorial Protection Committee. The meeting was chaired by Y. Mani Singh, president of the committee. The meeting started with the introductory speech delivered by Y. Nadia Chand Singh, social scientist of the Lakhimpur subdivision. Then A.R. Mazumdar, retired principal in charge, Nehru College, Pelapul, as well as renowned writer of the region, appraised in his speech the historical importance of the subdivision of Lakhimpur and the events that happened during the time of the mutiny. Each member of the visiting team threw light on the course of the mutiny under the guidance of Narendrajit Singh or Sana Chahi Ahum, the dethroned prince of Manipur, and its aftermath. They say the importance of the spot has remained missing from the pages of history and needs to be highlighted. They are sure to render best possible help in the matter. They also suggested to constitute a financial organ of the committee and to enlarge the membership to garner the aims and objects of the committee. The Naharol Khorilol Silup, Assam has observed the 129th birth anniversary of Mahakavi Hijam Anganghal on Wednesday, July 28, 2021 in the premises of the organization at Lakhimpur, Purnagram. At the beginning of the program, floral tributes were paid to the Mahakavi and the statue of the communist leader Hijam Irabot. Presiding over the function by the ex-president of the Silup, Shri I. Binod Singh, a discussion on the life and literary works of Hijam Anganghal was held, in which Shri Lokham Atol Kumar Singh, Khaidem Gaurahari Singh, etc. spoke on the occasion. Later, condemning the heinous incidents of Assam-Mizoram border that took place on July 26 last, in which 6 Assam police personnel succumbed to bullet injuries, the members present in the meeting observed a 2-minute silence for those killed in the incidents as well as the demise of the noted academician of Guwahati University, Dr. Neeru Hazarika, senior citizen of Guwahati, Laishram Biswasar Singh, and senior citizen of Palarbon, Sri Thokchom Chandralal Singh. In a move to instill the academic spirit of sports among the young boys and girls, an association under the name and style of Shribar Badminton Academy was formed on the last June 17 at Shribar Maninglekai in the Lakhimpur subdivision of Kasar district. Retired Lieutenant Colonel T.H. Kunjalal Singh and Ahibam Chinglaingamba Mitai are respectively the president and the secretary of the academy. The newly elected secretary of the academy has stated that the academy aims at spreading the strong message against the abuse of drug addiction in the society with the help of sports. And with this motto in hand, the academy has successfully organized a 15-day training program at Shribar Kasar bearing all sorts of expenditure by the academy itself. The closing function was held on July 26 last, and the academy appeals to all sports lovers to extend cooperation by taking membership enrollment of the academy. The noted academician and stalwart of Guwahati University, Professor Neeru Hazarika, passed away on July 25 last due to COVID-19 complications in the Guwahati Medical College. She was 72. Former Dean of Arts of Guwahati University, Dr. Hazarika was the first D.Litt degree recipient woman researcher of the entire northeastern region of India. Born at Jorhat, she started her career as a teacher of the Political Science Department of Guwahati University in 1970. Besides serving as head of the department for 3 terms, she was also a noted member of the Indian Council of Social Science Research. Dr. Hazarika had a number of books to her credit, which include Public Service Commission, a study and profile of youth organizations in Northeast India, Ethnic Autonomy Questions in Northeast India, Search for an Answer, Ethics and Human Values in Medical Sciences, etc. Chief Minister Dr. Himanta Biswa Sarma and many others from different fields have condoled the demise of Dr. Neeru Hazarika. In a condolence message, ASU Chief Advisor Dr. Samujal Kumar Bhattacharjee and President Dipankar Kumar Nath said that the state lost a dynamic stalwart in the academic field. It may be noted that Dr. Hazarika acted as a guardian during the Assam agitation over foreigners issue. The newly elected BJP MLA of Hojai, Shri Ramkrishna Ghosh, was given a warm felicitation at Jogijan Rajbari of Hojai recently. In the felicitation program, MLA Ramkrishna Ghosh said that he will move the state government to declare the main historical places of Hojai as tourist spots so as to attract the tourists from outside the state. Members of the BJP Yuva Morcha of Hojai, President and other active members of the BJP Hojai district were also present on the occasion. The much-awaited HSLC, AHM and HS assessment results were declared by Board of Secondary Education, Assam SEBA and Assam Higher Secondary Education Council on Friday and Saturday last respectively. The overall pass percentage of HSLC is 93.10. In the AHM exams, it is 93.18%, whereas the pass percentage of HS Arts is 98.93%. HS Science is 99.06% and in Commerce it is 99.57%. It needs mention here that the last highest pass percentage in HSLC was 70.771 in 2013. Incidentally, the number of girl students was very much higher than boys this year. In the HSLC results this year, while 88,521 candidates got first division, 1,60,298 passed with second division marks, and 1,48,313 got third division. On the other hand, the Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi has directed the Union Health and Education Minister to put 27% seat reservation for OBC candidates who wish to apply for medical and dental admission, as well as 10% for the students of economically weaker section. This will facilitate at least 5,550 medical aspiring candidates to pursue their further studies. Nityanand Rai, Union Minister of State for Home, said to the Rajya Sabha on Wednesday, July 28, 2021 that full statehood will be granted to Jammu and Kashmir at an appropriate time after normalcy is restored. In a written reply to Shiv Sena MP, Priyanka Chaturvedi in state of Jammu and Kashmir was stripped of its statehood on August 5, 2019 after removal of Articles 370 and 35A. The state was bifurcated into two union territories, Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh. Nityanand Rai said in the written response that the government has zero tolerance policy towards terrorism and has taken various measures such as strengthening the security, intensified cordon and search operations to effectively deal with the challenges posed by the terrorist organizations. Over the security situation, Nityanand Rai stated that terrorist incidents were reduced in Jammu and Kashmir during 2020 by 59%, as compared to 2019 and 32% up to June 2021. On the issue of rehabilitation of Kashmiri Pandits in the valley, the Ministry of Home Affairs said currently there are 900 families of Kashmiri Pandits and Dogra Hindus living in Kashmir. The government is taking all steps to ensure the safety, the Ministry of Home Affairs said. The much talked about political conference of the Congress party in the aftermath of the last assembly election was held at Srivar of Lakhimpur subdivision on Friday, July 30 last, in which President of the All India Mahila Congress as well as ex-MP of Silchar, Shushmita Dev, graced the occasion as chief guest. Shri Bir Mangol Singh presided over the conference. Giving introductory speech by the recently contested independent candidate in the Assam Assembly election from Lakhimpur, Shri L. Thoiba Singh, the discussion heavily dealt with the present socio-political scenario of the state and the country as well. Digging upon the present government at the center and the state, the common people are struggling hard to live around their most miserable way of life. Our Emoinu media advisor, Khaidam Kanta, has informed that the representatives of different organizations, pro-workers and sympathizers of L. Thoiba and the Congress party joined hands to work together to bring a change in the socio-political environment of the locality in particular and on the state in general. Shri Pradeep De, President of the Kasar District Congress Committee, M.R. Khan, President of the Lakhimpur Block Congress Committee, Shri Subir Sarkar, General Secretary, Kasar District Congress Committee, Shri Rajesh Dev, Secretary, Organization of the District Committee, Subal Rajbongsi, Assistant Secretary of the All Assam Coach Rajbongsi Kasar District Committee, etc. spoke on the occasion. The Japanese capital Tokyo recorded its highest ever single-day COVID-19 infections tally on Tuesday, 27th July 2021. 2,848 new cases reported on this day. The COVID-19 infections related to Olympics touched 155. This includes athletes and officials. This record tally comes at a time when the Tokyo Olympics are being held under a COVID-19 state of emergency in Tokyo. The record jump in daily cases of coronavirus infections in the fifth wave of pandemic fueled by Delta variant is putting pressure on Tokyo's hospitals, according to Reuters. Despite the right quarantine rules for the Olympic Games, 155 cases have and others. Protests were held across Tokyo, calling for the cancellation of the Games, fearing the influx of athletes and officials could fuel the surge. The 23-year-old Lavlina Borgohain of Assam defeated Nguyen Chin Chen of Chinese Taipei 4-1 in the women's boxing quarterfinals to assure a second Tokyo Olympic medal for India. After Vijender Singh in 2008 and Mary Kom in 2012, both bronzes, Borgohain is now the third boxer ever from India to win an Olympic medal. It may be noted here that in Olympic boxing, both the losing semi-finalists will get the bronze. If Borgohain wins her semis, she will become the first Indian boxer in an Olympic final. The 23-year-old from Assam will now take on the top-seeded Buzana Sermaneli of Turkey in the semi-final on August 4. In the flyweight quarterfinals at Tokyo Olympic, the 38-year-old Mary Kom of India lost 3-2 to Ingrid Valencia of Colombia. Mary Kom's dream of winning another Olympic medal has ended. With the Olympics having an age cap of 40, this was to be her last bout. On the other hand, Indian weightlifter Mirabai Chanu returned to India on July 26 after winning silver medal at the Tokyo Olympics. She was rousingly greeted at the Indira Gandhi International Airport, surrounded by the security forces. Both the Houses of Parliament on July 26 congratulated the Olympic silver medalist Saikhom Mirabai Chanu. Mirabai also thanked the Prime Minister and the Sports Ministry for the Target Olympic Podium scheme for providing her the best support when required. Manipur government and the CEO people of the state accorded welcome to her on July 27 last. On her arrival at the Bir Tikendrajit International Airport, Imphal, on this day at around 1:45 p.m., Chief Minister N. Viren Singh, along with his cabinet colleagues, MLAs, and a large number of people received her. As announced earlier, the Chief Minister presented her a cheque of ₹1 crore and the appointment letter for the post of additional SP Sports to the weightlifter as rewards to her outstanding achievement. Moreover, Viren Singh also handed over an added reward of ₹10 lakh for setting the world record in clean and jerk in 49 kg category at the 30th Asian Weightlifting Championships held in April this year at Tashkent, Uzbekistan. She lifted 119 kg in the Asian Weightlifting Championships at Tashkent. Before we wrap up, let's take a look at the headlines once again. The first anniversary of Emoinu Private Limited was held on July 29 last on virtual network due to COVID pandemic. Assam-Mizoram border clash leaves 5 deaths. A team of history enthusiasts visited the site of the last Sepoy Mutiny at Binakandi Part 2 on July 24 last. All Assam Students' Union has condoled the demise of noted academician of Guwahati University, Dr. Neeru Hazarika. Results of COVID hit HSLC and HS exams declared in Assam. Jammu and Kashmir to be granted statehood after normalcy is restored. Tokyo records on July 27 highest single-day spike of COVID-19 cases since pandemic began. And boxer Lavlina Borgohain reaches semis at Tokyo Olympics. Mary Kom goes down to end her bout. That's the end of the news. Thank you for watching Emoinu Live. Stay safe and don't forget to wear your mask.